Most men have had this experience at least once. You're on a date with a woman. The conversation is flowing. The energy feels good, and you think things are going pretty darn well. And then suddenly she says something that feels a little bit challenging. Like maybe she teases you. Maybe she disagrees with something you've said. Maybe she's actually canceling on you at the last minute on text. And afterward, you're sitting there wondering, was that a test? Now, here's the interesting part. Most of the time, women don't even realize they are doing this. Because what women are actually evaluating in dating is not what you say about yourself. It is how you respond when something becomes slightly uncertain or uncomfortable. Your reactions in those moments reveal far more about your confidence, your emotional stability, and your sense of identity than anything you could say about yourself on a date. So today I want to talk you through 5 ways women are unconsciously testing men, and more importantly, what your reactions in those moments are revealing about you. Now, if you're brand new to this channel, welcome aboard. My name is Kimberly Hill. I support good-hearted men to attract deeply loving women and go on to have deeply loving relationships. And this channel talks about all things life and dating and psychology and modern women and just navigating what probably feels like an overly complex part of your life and hopefully simplifying it for you. Now, if you are interested in getting some support, I do work with men on a one-on-one basis, and you're welcome to check out the link for a complimentary call to see if we are a good fit. Now, before we go into the examples, I want to clarify something very important. When people hear the phrase women test men, they often assume that women are intentionally trying to trick you or to make you fail, which might make you believe that women are just generally really manipulative. And that is usually not what is happening. Now, most of this behavior is completely unconscious. What is actually happening is that people or women are observing each other under small amounts of pressure, which is really where people reveal themselves. Now, historically, women had to evaluate qualities that are very difficult to measure through words alone. Things like emotional stability, leadership, reliability, and how someone responds when things don't really go exactly as planned. And those traits do not show up when everything is going smoothly. So those things show up when there's a little tension in the moment. So instead of asking direct questions to you about those traits, the brain naturally watches how somebody behaves in small moments of uncertainty. And those moments reveal a lot. And so one of the most common dynamics you'll see early in dating is playful teasing. So a woman is going to say something like, "Are you always this confident?" Or, "You seem like trouble." Now, in that moment, what she is actually observing is very simple. Does this man become defensive? Does he start explaining himself, or can he stay relaxed and playful? Confident individuals do not feel the need to defend their identity. They are simply comfortable letting the moment be light and playful. So, for example, instead of suddenly becoming serious, you might respond with something like, "Oh, I'm only on weekends. You haven't even seen my final form yet." And the exact words that you say here, guys, don't matter. What matters, well, I mean, unless you're saying moronic things, okay, let's just clear that out. What really matters is the energy beneath these words. Playfulness signals that you have the capability to be easeful. You have emotional ease, and it communicates that you are comfortable with yourself and that you don't feel threatened by a little bit of teasing. That relaxed energy is something women find extremely attractive, and that is the first way women will test you. Now, another way women are going to test you unconsciously, guys, is through small disagreements, right? Simple disagreements. Maybe she says that she hates a movie that you love. Maybe she has a completely different opinion about something that you have mentioned in conversation. Now, here is what she is actually observing, not the topic. She is observing how you handle the difference. Do you suddenly try to convince her that she is wrong? Do you backtrack and then change your opinion just to keep the peace with her and make sure you are coming across as agreeable? Or can you comfortably say something like, "I completely disagree with you on that," without tension? Emotionally mature individuals can hold their perspective without needing the other person to validate it. And interestingly, this creates a feeling of safety even in moments of disagreement. So when someone can disagree without becoming very reactive, of course it's signaling emotional stability, and stability women need to have from men in order to feel deeply attracted to them. Now, the third way women are going to unconsciously test you is through minor inconveniences. And this situation is quite revealing. Something small goes wrong, the restaurant is closed, traffic delays your plans, the place you wanted to go with her is unexpectedly really packed. And these moments are revealing something very important. They're revealing your stress response. Do you become visibly irritated? Do you freeze and become very passive? Do you start apologizing excessively to her? Or do you calmly adjust the situation? For example, you might say something like, "No problem. There's another place a couple of blocks away. Let's just go try that." And what this signals is composure. It shows that you can handle small disruptions without becoming emotionally unsettled. And that ability to stay calm in the face of minor friction is one of the strongest signals of leadership and reliability. Now, another way women are going to unconsciously test you is through a little bit of silence and maybe even texting gaps. Now, modern dating has introduced this situation where emotional regulation becomes very, very visible through texting. So let's say you send a message to her and she doesn't respond right away like she usually would. And so, for a lot of men, this creates immediate feelings of anxiety. So you wait it out a little bit, but then you can't help it and you send another text. And some of you might not even be able to wait after that. And so you might even send another. And then what happens is you go, "Okay, well, I can't send another one." So you start analyzing the entire interaction in your head. And fortunately or unfortunately, we have text history. So you scroll back and you start looking at everything that you were saying leading up to this. But from this woman's perspective, something very different is happening. She is observing whether you are remaining grounded or whether you're suddenly becoming emotionally dependent on her response. Now, securely attached individuals are not panicking in moments of silence. They simply continue living their lives. You go to the gym, you go see your friends that night, you focus on your work, you make a great meal for yourself. And that calmness is communicating something very powerful, that this is a man who is emotionally self-regulated, and emotional regulation is one of the most attractive traits someone can have. And guess what? It doesn't exist across everybody in spades. That's why it's very attractive, because it's perceived as something that's more rare these days when everybody has all of their emotions and opinions on full display. Now, another way a woman is going to unconsciously test you is through little boundary moments. So the final situation happens when this little boundary appears. Maybe she arrives just a little bit late, for a genuine reason. Or maybe she pushes for something that she would like to do on a date that doesn't quite work for you. Or maybe she's suggesting something that you're just not fully comfortable with. What she's really observing as well is how you handle that moment. Do you over-accommodate and ignore your own needs? Do you suddenly get a little rigid and controlling because you just don't want things to happen that way? Or do you calmly express your own boundary? Something as simple as, "I can stay for another hour, but then I do need to head out." Or why don't we try planning it this way instead? Healthy boundaries, guys, are not there to limit people. They are there to signal self-respect. And interestingly, people feel safer around someone who can express their limit calmly, because it shows that you know who you are, and you need to know who you are in order to exist in a good relationship. Now, here is the deeper insight that most dating advice will completely miss. Women are not evaluating your performance. Please consider this. They're not evaluating your performance. They are evaluating your nervous system. Your reactions in small moments reveal things like your emotional regulation, your confidence, your sense of identity, your ability to tolerate uncertainty. Those qualities can't be faked. Good luck to you. They can't be faked. They show up naturally when something slightly uncomfortable happens. And this is why attraction is often built not when everything is going perfectly between two people. Plus, I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what it looks like to go on a perfectly connected date, right? It's often little moments of nervousness or friction that create those moments of attraction. And I tell a lot of my clients the story of my partner and I on our very first date, how there was, clears throat, some friction and some tense little moments and some moments of nervousness from my side and his side. And it's because of that, and because we were able to overcome that multiple times throughout the evening, that the connection grew very strong by the end of the night. So when something small goes wrong and you can handle it with calm confidence, chef's kiss, to having the success you want in modern dating. Now, it's also important to say this. There is a difference between normal unconscious evaluation and manipulative behavior, right? Healthy interactions include small moments where people can observe one another. But if a woman is constantly playing games with you, fabricating jealousy, trying to control your reactions, that is not attraction. Even if it's coming from an attractive woman, that's dysfunction, guys. Healthy relationships do not require those kinds of dynamics. So the next time something slightly uncomfortable is happening when you're out there dating, don't think that this is the end of this dynamic between you and this woman. And don't think that you need to pass the test. Just think about what the moment is really revealing to you. Because attraction is not built when everything goes perfectly. As I mentioned, it's built in the moment when something small goes wrong and the other person watches how you handle it. Just the same way you are unconsciously observing this woman's behavior, these moments reveal your composure, your confidence, and your emotional stability. And those are the exact traits that create trust and attraction over time. Good luck.